You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey Days fans, so Kristen DiMera thinks she's about to get everything she wants, including Titan and Brady Black. But her ex-friend Ava Vitali might wind up with him instead. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's talk about Kristen getting a long overdue comeuppance on the Peacock soap opera. Going into next week, we have Sarah Horton still without the serum that Dr. Rolf developed that could cure her paralysis. Kristen initially offered it to Xander Cook if he and Sarah got the charges against Brady dropped. And they tried to withdraw Sarah's statement, but EJ was being a big old jerk about it. And then after Fiona Cook was caught as the culprit, EJ DiMera still didn't want to let Brady go. It seemed like he was trying to come up with some sort of way to take down both Fiona and Brady. But Xander and Sarah kept pushing really hard, and finally EJ cut Brady loose. But when Xander went back to Kristen and said, okay, we did it, we got what you wanted, she refused to hold up her end of the deal. Her take was EJ would have eventually let Brady go anyway, so she double-crossed Sarah and Xander. And then Kristen said, give me Titan Industries and you get the cure. That's pretty much her saying to Xander, write me a check for $1 billion, right? It's insane. And then after he was released, Brady stopped by the mansion to see Rachel after EJ let him go. And he asked Kristen about Sarah getting the serum. And Kristen misled him very intentionally, saying Xander was just there and they were making arrangements. That's a big old fat lie. But we all know if Kristen, doesn't get what she wants from Xander, she's not going to hand that serum to Sarah. So I guess Miss DiMera assumes that Xander will do anything and give anything to see Sarah walk again. And he probably would, but he isn't the only decision maker. Not only does Sarah tell Xander, don't give Kristen Titan, but Justin says don't do it. And Phillip Kiriakis is back and he is in the mix too. So on Monday, October 28th, official day spoilers we got from the PR department tell us Kristen tries to get closer to Brady. And maybe she makes a little progress. I mean, he does know how hard Kristen tried to get him out of jail. She was fighting to keep him around for their daughter, Rachel. And we do know he is struggling with some residual feelings for Kristen. The thing to me with Brady's feelings for Kristen, I feel like they are just like his feelings for alcohol. He knows they're both bad for him, but when he indulges in them, he has a lot of fun in the moment. And then Brady wakes up the morning after really regretting what he did, whether it's booze or Kristen, and then he promises himself, I'll never do it again. So Brady has made very unhealthy choices with alcohol and with Kristen, and he doesn't want to backslide with either. So she might think she's making headway, getting closer to him, but I bet Brady will think twice before getting involved with her again. So that same day on Monday, Phillip messes up Xander's plan to give Titan to Kristen, as he should. And that means Sarah, though, is another day without the cure. By Wednesday, Brady is talking to Ava Vitali and they are doing some bonding. So if you don't remember, this is not the first time they've hung out, not the first time they've bonded, not the first time they've done some flirting. It was back like third week of July. Yeah, third week of July. Brady had stepped away from Teresa and Alex's wedding because he still had feelings for her and he was sitting in the pub drinking. Ava sat down with him and was talking about her own bad romantic issues, and Brady flirted with her when she said she was going up to her room, and he asked if he could join her. Ava said it was a tempting offer, but she was working for Kristen back then, and it would be a complicated mess. What's interesting is that's the same night he met Fiona. He probably would have been a lot better off getting in bed with Ava. So now, fast forward 3 months later, Ava does not care what Kristen thinks because she fired her. She fired Ava, her friend, her supposed friend, because Gabby demanded it. So Ava is free to make whatever choices she wants, and she's single, and so is Brady. So the spoiler doesn't say where Ava and Brady are bonding. It could be he comes into the bistro where she works, or he comes into the pub where she's still living in the room upstairs. Either way, they talk and she and Brady do some bonding. And despite Ava's sketchy mob past, I mean, she's pretty reformed now. And she is definitely a better option for Brady than Kristen. And not only that, but if Ava wants to hit back at Kristen, then getting involved with Brady is a perfect way to do it. But from Brady's side, why would he hit back at Kristen? Well, I think it's about her ongoing lies and trickery. I'm certain it won't be long before Brady finds out from Sarah or from Xander or somebody close to them that Kristen is asking an insane price for that paralysis serum. And she already told Brady she was making arrangements to get it to Sarah, which was a big old lie. Instead, Kristen was cutting a whole new deal, making a ridiculous demand to try and steal Xander's family business in exchange for it. Kristen has to know this is going to come out, right? She has to know it'll come back to bite her. How does she think Brady won't find out? I mean, he already knows getting closer to Kristen is a really bad idea. And he's drawn to Ava. They could be getting flirty and thinking about each other after this bonding moment. And then when he finds out Kristen is withholding the cure so she can look good to the DiMera board by getting her hands on Titan, that could be a breaking point for Brady. He already is really only spending time with Kristen because she controls access to their daughter. If not for that, I think Brady might walk away from Kristen and not talk to her again. And once he finds out what she is doing to Sarah, leaving her in a wheelchair because she's power hungry, so much so that Kristen is willing to sacrifice a paralyzed woman's quality of life, I suspect a couple of things. First, Brady will demand that Kristen immediately give Sarah the serum, and either Kristen will or another DiMera will shake it out of Rolf for Sarah. And then I think Kristen's lies and greed will drive Brady right into Ava's arms. And if it does, I cannot wait to see the look on Kristen's face when she finds out she won't get her hands on Titan and she's lost Brady once and for all. We'll see. I think Ava and Brady could be a whole lot of fun together.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.